Hey there, YouTube world. My name is Matt Schwartz and I'm the Welding Geek. On this episode of the Welding Geek, I'm going to paint my Boba Fett fresh armor. This was, to say the least, a learning experience. It's a fun video. Yeah, I feel like it came out pretty well, but there was some ups and downs and trying to figure stuff out. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's roll the video. Alright, I am going to start painting my Boba Fett armor. How I decided to do this was, I guess let's start with the masking. I'm just going to use toothpaste to mask off all the places where I want metal to show through. I'm doing the Boba Fresh from season 2, but even though it looks like it's cleanly painted, there's still some paint chips along the edges and in certain places. I'm going to try to get it as close to the show as possible, but it's not going to be perfect. I am not that good of a painter to do that, but I'm going to give it a good shot, and I'm going to use toothpaste for that. And then the next process will be I'm going to use, I decided to go with a gloss hunter green. I don't know if this is the exact right color, but from all my screenshots and everything, I decided this was the one that I thought is the closest. Maybe when I get it on here and look at it in real life, I'm not sure, but this is what I'm starting with. So I'm going to go ahead and use my toothpaste to mask off all my spots, and actually I'm going to paint the foam side first and get this all covered on the foam side first, and then I'll flip it over and I'm going to paint it, completely paint it. And then I got this tip and trick from my buddy Hunter, J-Guy Hunter on Instagram. I have spray adhesive, and I'm going to use this for the texturing of the Boba Fresh paint. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to add more toothpaste over the top of the green to make some spots that are a little more smooth. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do when I get to the spray gluing step yet. And then I'm just going to take some aluminum foil, because I didn't want to use paper towel, to kind of move the spray glue and splotch it and smooth it where I want. I'm hoping that will work. All this stuff, I've never done any of this before. I don't know if it's going to work or not. So you can follow along with me as I'm going through this, and we'll find out if this comes out looking cool or not. I already have my little square things masked off with masking tape, along with the diamond. I've got the little center section already masked off there. We'll just leave those as they are for now. And I've got my Q-tips to apply my toothpaste. I decided to go with this golden sunset for the shoulder bells, and I'll probably use the same thing on the knees. So we'll see how that looks when I get there. This stuff is definitely going to darken up when I black wash and do that step. So I'm hoping this looks pretty close. But if not, we'll paint it again. No big deal. So yeah, because this paint job is highly, highly textured, so screw-ups aren't going to be a big deal, because the more texture, the more realistic it's going to look. So without further ado, I'm going to start applying toothpaste. I've got my phone here in my pocket with all my screenshots that I have, and I will start using it to apply toothpaste accordingly. So I'm going to start doing that. Start the music. All right, I got all my toothpaste to the spots where I wanted it to go. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the armor that I'm actually making is more like the Return of the Jedi armor, and not like the exact armor from the Mandalorian Season 2 version of the set. On that version of the set, the corners are more sharp and just different. They obviously changed up the armor a little bit, but I enjoy continuity. So I'm gonna try to make my armor more like the Return of the Jedi armor, just because that's what it should look like. So that's what I decided to do. So you'll notice, like on my ab plate, there's more radiuses instead of the sharp corners. There's actually on the top chest here, they're more pointed and stuff like that. So I'll just have to kind of make up my own chips, because some of them are right on the edge of a point, but I'm just gonna put a little bit there anyway. So anyway, if I've missed anywhere, the nice thing about metal is I can go in there with sandpaper or a knife or something and just scrape it out. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my first layer of paint on, and yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do the foam side first. I'll get the yellows way out of the way here so I don't get any stuff over top of that, and yeah, we'll get stuff painted. All right, I got my edges all hit, and we'll give that dry, and then we'll come back and probably have to hit it again, possibly. If not, then we'll do the top side. So let's get that done. All right, it is now a couple hours later, and I'm gonna share with you all that I have learned over the last couple hours. All right, so the original color I put on here was a gloss hunter green, okay? And I put that on there. I filled up the foam. It absorbed a lot of the paint, but I got it there. But I did not like the color. It was too dark. It just didn't look right. And I thought it was because it was the gloss. So I went ahead and I got hunter green and a semi-gloss, and I still didn't like that either. So where we're at now is this color right here, which I'm a lot happier with. And it is a matte Spanish moss by Krylon. And I think this is the color I'm gonna stick with. I really like it. As you can see here, I've got all my pieces painted. So the next step I wanna do is, I've got this Loctite spray adhesive, and this is going to be my texturing. I bought this version, the gray version, the 300 heavy, because it has what's called the web spray, which there's some spray adhesive that comes out of the mist. It'll just mist over everything. The webbing is going to give it the more random textures. Before I put this on, I'm going to add some toothpaste on the chest, because there's some places where you can see pretty clearly that it's pretty smooth, and that's why I painted it like this. I'm gonna put some toothpaste down to have some spaces on the plates that will be smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit those with the toothpaste, and then I'm gonna shake this up and add texture to all my plates here. Also, I did do the shoulder bells. Let me grab those real quick. So I did those in this yellow here, which is actually slightly brighter. Sorry, let me grab the actual paint here. Brighter than it looks, but I think we're gonna be all right. This is a golden sunset. I was wanting it to be a little more orangish yellow, but I think when I go ahead and add the texture to this and then black wash it, it's gonna darken it up enough to where it should match pretty good. And if not, we'll just paint it again. As you can see here, I messed up on the paint on these. So I spent a ton of time like this, trying to fill in the foam backers, which they finally filled in. They're looking pretty good. But like I said, this doesn't matter. You see the little drips seeped underneath and pulled up because I was using a lot of paint. But it doesn't matter, we're gonna texture it with this stuff. And that will all disappear. All right, so I'm gonna use my screenshots here and try to put toothpaste on, like I said, where I can kind of see where it's smooth. And then we're just gonna wing it from there. And I've never done this before. I don't know if this is gonna work out or not, but we're gonna try and we're gonna learn together. And hopefully this will come out looking pretty rad. All right, I've got a nice shot of the chest here. I don't know if this will translate onto the camera. You can kind of see what I'm turning sideways here. Anyway, it looks pretty smooth in a couple places on the chest, and since that's dead center up front, I'm gonna try to smooth out some of those, and then I'm just gonna wing the rest. I know there's some guys out there that will get it perfect, and those guys make me jealous, but I don't have the patience or the talent to do that. So it's gonna grab these two here. Get my picture out here and really try to just give me some good smooth sections. There's some right there, and then we'll hit everything with the spray, the glue, and then we'll paint over top of that, and hopefully that will give us the textured look that it has. I don't know if this is a smart idea or not. We'll see in the end product. I think once I get everything done, even if it's not perfect, it's still gonna look pretty good. I got this tin foil because I didn't want paper towels, like I said earlier, that I'm hoping to be able to move the glue around. Some places it looks nice and flat, and other places it looks not so much so. I don't know if I've gone too much, too little. I suppose we can always add more in when we get done here. So we'll let that sit and dry. Then I'll paint over the top of it. And we'll see what it looks like after that. Yeah, that should actually grab black wash pretty well too. Yeah, anyway, on to the next step. We'll see what happens. All right, day 2 of our painting adventure. All right, so this is all set up. The glue has gotten hardened, so I'm gonna do another coat over the top of it. I'm thinking the way it looks, I think it's gonna get the point across. But we'll see. I'll get these painted up. And then I'll rinse off the toothpaste. And then we're gonna have to figure out how to do the logo stuff for the emblem, sigils, all that stuff. So get this again with the matte Spanish mosh. And we'll go from there. Yellow and looking good. All right, so I went ahead and I rinsed off one of my plates after the paint. I'm getting washing the toothpaste off. Both like in this section here, you can see how it's a little clear, and like that top corner there. And it's not too bad. I don't think it's perfect, but I think from here it's gonna look great. I'm gonna get you up close here. So the glue decided, and I was kind of worried about this when I put it on there, because it was kind of wiping the paint away. But there's little tiny, like a little tiny pinhole effect all throughout the glue, which, like I said, looking at it from an arm length away, you're not going to see it. So I'm not going to really fret about it too bad. If you get up real close, you probably, but when I black wash it too, it might hide some of this stuff. So I'm gonna keep on going. We'll go ahead and get the rest of these, the plates rinsed off. And then next, I'm gonna start stenciling out the sigils on this and on the shoulder bell. And we'll get those. I'm gonna paint those on by hand with stencils because I kind of figured, you know, Boba Fett probably painted his on by hand. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting set up to do that. So far, so good. I'm pretty happy. I like the color, and when I feel like when I get this black washed and get some of the more little damage effects on there, it's gonna look really great. So let's keep on going. All right, I'm gonna try to paint this emblem on. You probably can't see, but I have cricketed out the emblems for the shoulder bell and this chest plate here, and I'm going to use them as stencils. I'm going to use acrylic paints because I want to do it hand painted, and I chose titanium white for the white. I don't even know how to say that kind of blue. Flatheol blue. And then vermilion as my reddish orange color on those. The plan is to cut it out. I'm going to do the white first. White first, and then probably the blue, and then probably the red. I'm not sure. I've got all my daughter's painting stuff here. So we will see how this goes. So yeah, I got a show on over here. It's probably gonna take me a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and just let the camera roll, cut out my things, and guess. So let's get rolling on that. So what I've done here with my Cricut is cut out a bunch of different parts of this emblem. As you can see here, this is just like the outline of it. I'm going to paint that white. And then after this dries, I'm going to put in the next section of the templates here. And then I'll paint around those blue, and then there's 2 little red dots. So I'm just kind of using each part and kind of stepping it out as I go. Here on the shoulder bell, like you can see here, it's just the outside profile. And this will be white. And then I actually didn't get recorded me painting on the mythosaur skull because the camera wasn't recording, which is super frustrating. But I let this dry, and then I put the mythosaur logo and covered up all the white piece with it and just painted red over the top of that. And this seemed to work pretty well, but as you'll see here, there's a little bleed through, especially on this front logo in the white, but I don't think it ruined it. It looks pretty decent from 5 feet away. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright, and this is kind of the finished product. I haven't black washed this yet. As you can see here, you can kind of see the white outline kind of washed through there. But like I said, from there, you can't really tell. So I'm going to go with it for now. And I'm also going to do like a little sanding over the top of this, which will fade that white line out. And so, yeah, pretty happy with that. Here's the shoulder bell. Like I said, I didn't get painting the mythosaur on camera, but I basically had the template for the mythosaur as probably be the negative, and I just put it over top of the white plane and then painted the red in there, and it came out really well. Here I'm using a Scotch-Brite to brighten up all my metal parts, and I'm also going to Scotch-Brite over the top of the emblems to kind of smooth them in and kind of flatten them out a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here. Right here, I'm going to take my little scraper tool and just kind of hit some of the edges to bring the metal through, just to have a little more, something to catch the eye, to make them look more metal. Next up, what I'm doing here is just taking some watered down black acrylic paint, kind of washing it over the entire thing, and then taking most of it off with a paper towel. I'm just trying to get some of this black paint to settle into the cracks and little imperfections. I'm also going to do the same thing with the browns, just kind of adding another layer. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright, let's get you some up close pictures of all the pieces I painted. Here's this one all black washed, darkened up. I'm a little frustrated about the little haze, but the sanding kind of got rid of it, and like I said, from here you can't really tell. I think it'll look pretty good in pictures. The backs, I really like this foam backed metal look. I mean, it gives you the strength and the feel of real steel. It's aluminum, but super light and super thick, and it makes it look just like on the show there. There's that. Here's these pieces. You can kind of get the little browns, make it look rusty down in the little holes, I suppose. Sides damage. That side we've got the ab plate. Looks pretty good. Really happy with how that came out. The back plate. Pretty dope. Collar. Shot collar. Get the damage in there. Iron heart. Centered chest diamond. Like how that came out. Now I have repainted the shoulder bells. I really didn't like the color, so like I said, if it didn't come out right, I'd repaint it. So I have repainted these, and I use this right here, melon yellow, and I really like how they look now. I'll try to link all the paints and stuff I used in the description of this video. This is Montana black, melon yellow, and I really like this color. And I also thought I painted this a little small, but here it is now. Really like how these came out. And then since this is like weeks later that I'm actually shooting this outro, just because of went on vacation. We've been working on other stuff. I painted the knees. So I know I didn't get this on video, but it was the same process as like the shoulder bells, just spray paint. I didn't texture these, I just went smooth. But here are the knees all painted. These came out beautifully. I'm really happy with the knees. There's one. There's the other knee. Yeah, and the foam just makes these look great. So there's your up close and personal. I am moving right along. I'm really pretty far along with the helmet. I think I'm going to be done with that fabrication process this week. So I don't know if that will be my next video, because I've also got some of my soft parts coming in, my vest from the Fed Armory, and the pants from the Fed Armory. And I'm going to do a video on how to mount the plates and kind of showcase the Fed Armory's products, that vest and all that stuff, get that stuff mounted. And that stuff is in the mail and should be here probably this week too. So I don't know if that will be the next video or if my helmet will be the next video. But I can't wait to get this stuff mounted and put it on. It's such a great feeling. I'm excited. I'm getting excited. Yeah. My gauntlets from the Man of War Studios. I let my buddy Hunter finish those for me, and he's working on those, and they're turning out beautifully. That Hunter knows what he's doing. So what else? I've got that. My mom is actually working on my shirt. So I'm the undershirt with the big poof here. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll have to do a video on mounting, because I actually got my gaiters, boot gaiters, from Crow Props, and those are here. So I got to mount my knees to those. Yeah, I'm waiting on hand plates. Have not been a very fun experience. I'll keep that one to myself. And then yeah, one of my Patreon followers is hooking me up, making me a belt. Yeah, we're swapping some stuff, but he's making me the belt. So I'll have to show you guys that too. So I'm excited about that. Thanks, Ed. So yeah, all my parts are, we're getting pretty close, which I'm excited about. What else? Weapons. I don't know what I'm doing with weapons yet. So anyway, I'm all trying to get all this kit wearable, not finished, but wearable by July 9th, which is PopCon here in Indianapolis. So that's going to be the first con I'm going to for a year now, or probably longer. So I'm super excited. I'm going to actually have somebody else wear this Boba Fett costume, and I'm going to wear my Din costume, and I'm hoping I can cut together a cool video at PopCon with Din and Boba walking around and doing that whole fun set. So I hope that works out. Yeah, future builds. I don't know, I still got a lot of videos left in this Boba, but I'm really strongly kicking around the idea of doing Echo from the Bad Batch. So thinking that might be my direction next, but we'll see. But I'm really excited about the look of that character. And Hunter, the guy doing has got a Hunter. And I know there's somebody else working possibly on a tech. And so yeah, I want to do that. But anyway, if you guys want to support my channel, you can head over to Patreon. I have a Patreon account. There's a $5 tier where I post all the templates to all the stuff that I do, so you can try to do it yourself. There's a $10 tier if you want to support me a little more, and every once in a while I'll give that tier. I do a giveaway. I've given away some really cool stuff, helmets, the Cloudbuster sword, and that kind of stuff, just as a thank you. But those giveaways are every once in a while, so you can be looking forward to those if you want to join that tier. You can also, if you want to support my channel and see more cool content like this, me making metal stuff, you can subscribe to my channel and like my videos and comment on them and get the YouTube thing to kick those videos to other people, so I can get some more views and just get the Welding Geeks name out there, and just to grow my channel so I can do more and have more fun. Anyway, thanks guys for watching my videos, and I think I'm going to cut it off there. My name is Matt Schwartz, and I'm the Welding Geek, and here's for looking for more, guys. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Thanks again.